Discipline is often hailed as the ultimate key to success. But have you ever wondered why pushing harder sometimes leaves you feeling completely empty and hollow inside? The truth is, you might be trapped in a cycle of toxic discipline. You are borrowing dopamine from your future self without a plan to pay it back. When we force ourselves into rigid routines without understanding our biology, we risk breaking the very system that drives our motivation and long-term mental health. Your dopamine receptors are delicate. Overloading them with constant stress and high-intensity effort can lead to a state where nothing feels rewarding anymore, even success. Today, we explore the dopamine paradox. We will uncover why your brain pushes back against extreme willpower and how to build a discipline that actually lasts. Toxic discipline relies on sheer force, while biological discipline works in harmony with your internal chemistry. One leads to burnout, the other leads to true mastery. If you have ever reached a goal only to feel a sense of profound sadness, you have experienced the hidden cost of neurological imbalance and depletion. Understanding the science behind this feeling is the first step toward recovery. We need to look deep into the molecular level of your brain's reward system. Welcome to the world of neurochemistry. Let's break down the specific hormones that dictate your energy, your focus, and your ultimate ability to remain consistent. This is your dopamine baseline. Every high comes with a corresponding low. If the spike is too intense, the crash becomes a deep, painful valley of demotivation. Your brain constantly seeks homeostasis. When you artificially push your dopamine levels through extreme pressure, your brain reduces its sensitivity to protect itself from damage. This physiological reaction is why people who work the hardest often feel the most disconnected. Their brains have literally turned down the volume on pleasure. Now consider hormone sensitive lipase, or HSL. This enzyme is crucial for breaking down fat for energy, but it has a major enemy, the stress hormone cortisol. When you force yourself into extreme discipline, your cortisol levels skyrocket. This biological signal tells your body to stop burning fat and start storing it instead. This is the paradox. You are working harder than ever, but your body is physically resisting your efforts because it thinks you are in a survival crisis. Then there is glucagon, the hormone responsible for releasing stored energy. In a balanced state, glucagon works perfectly to keep your brain fueled and sharp. But when discipline becomes an obsession, your glucagon response fails. Your brain enters a foggy state, and you lose the very mental clarity you need most. Chronic cortisol spikes act like a poison to your metabolic flexibility. They lock your body in a state of exhaustion where progress becomes almost impossible to maintain. You might call it laziness, but it is actually a metabolic shutdown. Your brain is trying to save power because your hormonal signals are completely crossed. To fix this, we must understand that discipline is not about ignoring these signals. It is about learning to communicate with them through precise lifestyle choices. The goal is metabolic flexibility. This means your body can switch between burning sugar and burning fat without causing a massive stress response in the brain. When you time your efforts and your nutrition correctly, you stop fighting against your biology and start using it as a powerful wind in your sails. Healthy mitochondria are the foundation of true discipline. They provide the steady stream of ATP that keeps your focus sharp without the need for constant caffeine. Metabolic flexibility is the hidden superpower of high performers. It allows them to push hard when necessary and recover deeply when the work is finally done. True endurance comes from this internal harmony. It is the ability to sustain effort over years, not just weeks of intense, unsustainable, and painful grinding. Now, let's look at the paradox of resistance. Why does doing less sometimes lead to achieving so much more in the grand scheme of your life? Resilience is often misunderstood. It is not just about the ability to take a punch. It is about how quickly and efficiently your system can recover. Take the concept of retrogradation. When you cook starch and then let it cool, it transforms into resistant starch, a unique fuel for your gut microbiome. This resistant starch feeds bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These compounds are essential for maintaining a stable mood and steady levels of baseline dopamine. There are two types of dopamine: phasic, which is for excitement, and tonic, which is for long-term persistence. Most people chase phasic while destroying their tonic. Discipline is not about starving yourself. It is about maximizing nutrient density. You need the building blocks of neurotransmitters to keep your brain firing on all cylinders. When your brain senses a lack of nutrients, it triggers a scarcity mindset. This increases anxiety and makes it impossible to focus on long-term goals and visions. Using retrogradation is a simple trick to lower the glycemic index of your food. It provides a slow release of energy that prevents the dopamine crash. Your gut is your second brain. If you neglect its health through disciplined restriction, you are effectively cutting off the supply line to your primary brain. Metabolic flexibility requires you to nourish your body with precision. It is the difference between a high-performance engine and one that is running on empty. Think of every meal as a chemical message to your brain. Are you telling it that you are in a famine or that you are thriving? Sustainability is the only metric that matters in the long run. Any system of discipline that ignores your basic biochemistry is doomed to fail eventually. The paradox is that by loosening the grip of willpower and focusing on biochemical support, you actually become much more disciplined without the painful effort. Hydration and electrolyte balance are also key. Even a slight drop in cellular hydration can spike cortisol and ruin your mental focus for the day. When your tonic dopamine is high, you don't need motivation. You simply do the work because it is a natural expression of your stable energy levels. Physical activity should support this system, not drain it. Exercise is a tool for hormonal health, not a punishment for what you ate yesterday. Understanding these small scientific details allows you to hack your own biology. It turns the grind into a sophisticated game of physiological optimization and growth. Now that we understand the why, let's move into the how. We need a strategy to reset your system and reclaim your natural drive. The first step in our rebuilding strategy is to fix your insulin sensitivity. This is the master switch for your energy levels and your brain health. By simply extending the time between your meals, you allow your insulin levels to drop. This signals the body to start using stored energy more efficiently. As your receptors become more sensitive, your brain fog lifts. You start to feel a natural, steady energy that doesn't rely on sugar or stimulants. Focus on nutrient density. Every calorie you consume should be packed with the vitamins and minerals your brain needs to synthesize dopamine and serotonin. Think of food as information. When you eat high-quality nutrients, you are sending a signal of safety and abundance to your nervous system and brain. Avoiding the blood sugar roller coaster is the most effective way to prevent the dopamine crashes that lead to procrastination and feelings of failure. Real discipline is the ability to choose what is best for your future self. That becomes much easier when your current self isn't starving for energy. We also need to discuss metabolic switching. This is the process of teaching your body to be comfortable in both fed and fasted states of being. When you can switch fuels easily, you become cognitively resilient. You don't get hangry or lose focus just because you missed a single meal today. Now, let's talk about a controversial topic: cheat meals. But we aren't talking about losing control. We are talking about a strategic metabolic reset. A calculated refeed can actually prevent your metabolism from slowing down. It tells your body that there is no need to enter survival mode. This prevents the adaptation, where your body becomes too efficient at burning low calories, which eventually leads to a complete plateaus in your progress. At this point, I want to emphasize that cheat meals aren't a sin. Science calls this metabolic switching, a tool to keep your hormones flexible and responsive. By occasionally deviating from your strict routine, you actually strengthen your long-term adherence. You are training your body to handle variety and maintain its balance. This is the essence of biological freedom. You are no longer a slave to a rigid schedule, but a master of your own internal chemical environment. When your hormones are aligned, discipline stops being a battle and starts being a choice. It is the natural result of a well-maintained biological system. True discipline is not about fighting yourself. It is about understanding the rules of your biology and playing the game to win for the long term. As we move toward the conclusion, remember that the goal is not perfection. The goal is a sustainable harmony between your ambitions and your physical body. We have covered a lot today, from the dangers of dopamine depletion to the power of nutrient timing and the hidden benefits of resistant starch and cooling. A balanced nervous system is your greatest asset. It allows you to stay calm under pressure and maintain focus when the world around you is chaotic. Stop treating your brain as a tool to be exploited. Start treating it as a partner to be nourished, respected, and understood on a molecular level. When you align your actions with your biology, the struggle disappears. You find yourself doing the work not because you have to, but because you can. It is about knowing how to manage your internal resources for the marathon of life. Life has seasons, and so does your productivity. Honor the cycles of your body, and your body will reward you with consistent, high-level performance and health. Resetting your reward system takes time and patience, but the result is a life where simple things feel good again, and big goals feel achievable once more. I hope this journey into neurochemistry has given you a new perspective on your own struggles. You are not broken. You might just be imbalanced right now. Master your biochemistry, and you will master your life. Everything else is just a detail. Take control of the foundation, and the rest will follow naturally. Thank you for joining me. May you find the balance you seek within your own pursuit of excellence. Until next time, take care of your brain. Master your internal world to conquer the external one. Balance is the ultimate form of discipline. Goodbye, and stay focused on your biological harmony.